Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2022, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2022 elections. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out more information about the upcoming election. And now I'd like to introduce Mike Luce, who is running for Scott County Commissioner, District 3. Mike, thank you for joining us today. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's a privilege to be here. I'm a lifelong resident of Shakopee. I spent 5 years on the Shakopee City Council. During that time, I worked specifically on the inclusive playground, which I believe is the best thing we have in town practically. I mean, there's other things, but this brings a lot of people together, and it helps an aspect of our community that was not represented prior to this. You know, I worked on all aspects of it. I fundraised for it. We actually did that playground in record time, according to the people that put it together for us. They said normally it takes well over 2 years to fundraise. We got the project completed and built in 9 months. So I always love to refer to it as my baby because 9 months, it's really special to me. And if you haven't been there, you have to go and see it. So it's a great thing and a great addition to our city. I also have done numerous things for the CAP agency. I found out one year that they never received, or they were in dire need of breakfast cereal. The kids get breakfast at school, but they don't have it at home, and they have to travel to school to get the breakfast. So I fundraised, and we were able to deliver a pallet a week of cereal to CAP during the summer months when the children are off school. I also found out that CAP never had turkeys for Thanksgiving. I went out and fundraised, and I was able to deliver 150 turkeys to CAP. And when I fundraise, I put in what other people put in. I don't just fundraise and just do it as I don't add to it. I add the same as everybody else. I don't believe in not doing that. And I also found out that the high school needed some materials to work on projects for special needs kids with the engineering students that they're paired with. So I went out and found a company that has cutoffs of a plastic product that they use to make their prototypes. And I purchased a fair amount of it and delivered it to the high school, and they are now using that to make prototypes, which they never could do before. So I don't try to be flashy about anything. If I'm not getting my hands dirty with a project with different groups that need help, then I don't think I'm really involved. There's other things, and I just don't want to drag this thing out too long. But I do get involved, and that's my passion. So I'll turn it back to Tim for his questions.
Thank you, Mike. What do you see as the most pressing issues in Scott County, and what are your thoughts on how to resolve them?
The most pressing issue right now is the people that are either underemployed, unemployed, and the people that have no food. Those are or lack of food. Not that they don't have any, but they're hurting for food. It's a tough question to answer. I don't have the inside skinny on all of it with the county, and I'm sure there's funds and that out there. The one thing I will tell you is that I'm very against anyone abusing the system. If you're caught abusing the system, you need to be dealt with severely. Those who need it, need it. They don't need those who don't need it taking it from them. That is just wrong, very wrong in my book. I will do my best to do whatever we can to stretch every dollar to help every person that needs it. We have to help our fellow man. We can't just let people slip through the cracks. So I can't get specific because I don't understand everything that goes with the county right now. I'm not privileged to some of the inside information. So please accept my answer at this point, but I will expand on it if elected.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Do you believe that the county should make any changes to its allocation of resources to policing or mental health services?
Exactly what their allocations are, I'm not 100% privy to it, but mental health is a huge problem right now. I have friends that are dealing with and struggling with issues of mental health, and I know firsthand what they're going through, as best anyone who doesn't have mental health issues can. They're really in a bad place. It's terrifying to them, everything that's going on. I have a close personal friend that, this pandemic, they hardly want to come out of their house because they're afraid of getting COVID. And, you have to go on with life. You obviously it's scary, and there are some big issues. I mean, if you do get it, I've had COVID twice. Luckily, I've survived it without any major issues. And not everybody's that lucky, but it's the luck of the draw, just being alive and being a human being. We're going to be on this earth for a certain amount of time, and then we're not going to be here. So we do what we can while we're here. We live our life to the best that we can. I like to, at this point in my life, I feel the need to help my fellow human being as much as I can, and I think if elected to the county board, it opens other doors, just like it did when I was on the city council for 5 years. Doors open that you don't even know about, and it leaves you able to do more. And I enjoy helping people, especially at this point in my life. I've been helped by other people. Not very often, but I didn't need it very often. Some people need it a lot, and they deserve to be assisted. So I'm all for assisting people, but I'm not for assisting those that want to use the system nefariously.
Great. Thank you, Mike. What are your plans to keep Scott County's tax levy low while still maintaining adequate resources for services like infrastructure improvements and workforce?
Well, one would be digging into the financials and finding any waste that is available to be cut. Every company, every government agency has waste, and it's a matter of tightening the belt and cut the waste as much as you can. And like I said before, without being on the board, you don't have access to a lot of that stuff. And I think there's a couple of people on the board right now that are trying, but they need assistance. And I think myself, being a conservative as they are, I think we could team together and get something done. It's very tough because robbing Peter to pay Paul is not a good idea. But sometimes Peter's got more than he needs, so you just gotta reallocate funds. And I know the problem with some of these funds are they're state funds that the county gets, and they have to be allocated justly. But I think with contact with our local representatives to the state level, things could be done to where we could allocate those funds in a more deserving way and manner. Sometimes one area needs more help than others, and we're seeing that with the pandemic. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling. Thank God, myself and my family and people I know are doing okay. None of us are doing great, but we're able to keep things moving and able to help those when we can that need help. So I believe in helping my fellow man. So I will do everything that I can do to make it easier for those who are struggling.
Great. Thank you, Mike. What is the status of the relationship between Scott County and the individual cities within the county, and what will you do to build upon and strengthen these relationships?
As far as I know, the relationship between the cities and the counties is adequate. I mean, they have requests, and the county takes care of their requests when they are able to. The county's got a restriction on their budgets, and everybody's got an ask, and it's just a matter of, well, you take roads for instance. The worst road in the county is going to get the most attention first, and you might think your city has the worst road in the county, but somebody else, there's a reason that it falls to the county level. They can rate everything like that, and there's some political aspects to some of it. I don't know how to explain it to the general public, but there's some negotiating that goes on, and there's some things that the general public doesn't know about why something's done, because maybe there's a development that's going to be going in the very near future, and they wait until that development is done so they don't tear a new road up. There's a lot of different parameters that come into play, and the general public doesn't generally get the information that council people or staff get.
Great, thank you, Mike. And if elected county commissioner, what would be your top priorities once you begin your term?
My top priority would be human services, because from my understanding, just reading the paper and speaking with some people up at the county level, that they have a real tough go of it right now, allocating funds to keep families in need from severe hardship. They're all going through hardship. Most of us are having some hardship. It just depends on what level you call hardship. Some people have to struggle just to get enough food on the table every day. Other people, they just can't pay for the gas that it takes to get to work. There's so many different aspects of need and different levels that I believe that we help the worst off first, and then we move up the ladder. And I don't think we're going to be able to move up the ladder too high, because the need is so great on the lower levels right now. Housing is out of control. I mean, what rents are going right now, and I do a lot with housing. I'm in the rental repair business, and I see some housing that is just barely reaching standards, and I see others that are not. And people just are stuck with taking what they can get, because landlords have to cover their costs also. And I know there's bad landlords. I generally try to avoid working with bad landlords, because they're going to try and cut corners everywhere, and I don't like to see them going after tenants, but they'll also go after the people working for them, so it's just best to stay away from those people. But I generally have a working relationship with the tenants, because I'm entering their homes and trying to repair things for them, and you got to be on a decent level with them. Otherwise, it just makes it hard for everybody involved. And I see and I hear a lot from the tenants, and there are good landlords and there are bad landlords, and every one of them is struggling. It's just a matter of that it seems like the good landlords are struggling less, because they've kept their properties up and they're doing what they can. Sure, they're making money. Nobody's in the business of being a landlord to lose money. But the way some of the agencies think, and some of the people running these agencies, they think that, the big bad landlord, well, yeah, there are some of those, but for the most part, they're struggling too, just like the rest of us, and they need to allocate their funds in the best locations that they can and get the best bang for the buck they can. And I try to help them out with that. I mean, and I would work with the county on that area too. Being in the business as long as I've been, 40 years, not that we can work directly with the landlord, but some of the guidelines maybe need to be altered a little bit on different things. And coming from a background that I come from, I can maybe relate to some of the requests that the landlords have better than the average person who doesn't work in that area. So I've got a lot of experience in that area, working with the tenants and working with the landlords, and working on the buildings, and quite a range of buildings. And I think my experience would play well on the county board because they need someone who's been there. As of right now, I don't know of anyone on the county board that has similar experience that I have. So
Great. Thank you, Mike. Now I'd like to give you the opportunity to give your closing statement and message to the voters.
well, like I said before, I've worked on a number of projects in Shakopee, and we've been very, very well received. The playground, the CAP donations that when I run around town, I kept everything. All the giving was done through Shakopee, and all the donations went to the local CAP agency so that the local people could benefit from it. And it was very well received. I went back to a number of different donators that they were very open to donating a second time and a third time and a fourth time, as long as they knew it was going for a good reason. I've kind of held off since COVID hit because a lot of companies are struggling. Now that things are getting back up on their feet, I need to get back into it. And a lot of companies had restrictions on people if you weren't vaccinated or if you were vaccinated and wearing masks and all this and that, and you had to be so careful that it was best just to hold back. And things are opening up now, and I my plan, if elected especially, because the titles open doors, and you need to use the titles wisely. Some people like to use the titles as a prestigious thing. I like to use it to open doors to help people in need. And I believe I'm pretty good at it. And as you can see, if you visited the playground down there, I did quite a big portion of the fundraising for that. And like I said, I worked on all the aspects in every area of removal, installation, putting in that fantastic soft surface that they have. I worked with the group that did that. And there's other things that we did, but anything that comes anywhere close to that, I'm very proud to say I was a part of. And working with CAP, I'm proud to say all the things that I've helped them with. And I think if you had the chance to request an answer from the director of CAP, he would also say that he's glad to have been able to partner with me in the times that we've worked together. I think those of us who have the ability to fundraise, and take it from me, a position with a title opens doors automatically. And if you need to use it properly, some people use it just for prestige. And normally, this is not me. I do not wear a suit and tie, and I'm a jeans and t-shirt guy. I'm getting my hands dirty, and a lot of people look down on that, and I go, there's people that are shirt and tie and all that and suits that have no idea of what's going on, and there are people that wear t-shirts and jeans and get their hands dirty that know way more about a process than those with the suit and tie. And I do believe I'm one of those that has a good grasp on what's going on, and I really want to be able to share my abilities with the people in the county. So I thank the Chamber for this opportunity, and hopefully if anybody has any questions or anything, they can reach me at, is it okay to give my phone number?
Absolutely.
612-578-5063, or I'm on Gmail, and if you want to contact me, it would just be mluce on Gmail. And if you got a question or something, I'll do my best to answer them. If you want to call me, I have no problem with that. I'm open to anything. So I thank the Chamber for this opportunity, and I thank you for listening. And hopefully I will get your vote come November.
Great. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Tim.
The views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these events as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure the objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate but seeks to provide you, the citizens, and voters of Shakopee with the information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate your time and service to our community by running for office. You are performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2022. Please join us September 29th at River Valley Church for our candidate forum. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org for more information. Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Tim.